I'm going to make a full disclosure before I say anything. It's really fucking hot outside, even here inside the house. So my mood from that is not great. I also just had some bullshit with the tax company where, like, the state of California, where I was supposed to be getting a refund of about like $860, but because of some like bullshit clericking, I now owe the state $400, and it's something that I can get fixed. I am going to be working on getting it fixed, but it's like, yeah, I've been waiting for the past month for my refund. I finally called to say, hey, you said it would be 4 weeks. It's been 5 weeks. What's the status of my refund? Just to hear that, oh no, apparently the person that you spoke to a month ago and blah blah blah, apparently they were lying through their teeth, and when you said, yeah, I understand everything you're telling me, what they were telling you, they just said that shit because blah 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 blah. And I'm mad. I'm actually fuming right now. But alas, I have some fucking shit I want to do. I have some videos I want to make. This was the time specifically where I said I want to do my room talk video. I've got a couple other videos I want to do as well, some relatively short ones. I'm ready to do this. I just wanted to get my tax shit done. Like, let me go ahead and knock it out. Figure out what needs to be done. Bam, do this. And it's just kind of ruined my mood. But I still, I'm not going to let it completely fuck me over, but I needed a couple minutes before I say anything to vent. So now, if you would just let me breathe for a second. Welcome to a Room Talk Thursday episode. I think I said a Room Talk. Did I say Room Talk Tuesday earlier? That's wrong. Room Talk Thursday. June in review. Well, here's the first thing to review in June. I waited all fucking month for my tax return, and that was all bullshit. But moving on to happier things that I actually want to talk about. I finished reading Sea Cats. And on top of that, when that was done, I waited a few days to kind of relax on reading anything, work on some other projects, and then I picked up House of Leaves, and I did finish reading House of Leaves. And it feels really nice to be able to knock out 2 reading projects in 1 month, which granted, Sea Cats was a few months in the making, but I'm glad I was able to get them both done. As for the next reading project, looking ahead to July, I'm not 100%. Part of me really wants to go ahead and start reading Higurashi. Part of me really wants to go ahead and pick up Psychonia. Reading House of Leaves and actually holding a fucking book and curling up in my bed and reading a book is something I haven't done in, I hate to say it, but I honestly haven't done in years, and I missed it. It was so lovely. I might do a book next. Probably Dune. It's something that has been on my list. It's right over there on my bookshelf. I'm looking at it right now. A friend got it for me for Christmas, I believe last year, which is why it's I'm going to make sure to put on my list. So I might do that. I think the summer sale is going to be, the Steam sale is in a couple months, or excuse me, not a couple months, a couple weeks. And I almost said VN and visual novel at the same time, but the VN sale I think is in August. So I'll probably check to see which VNs I have on my list. Again, like Higurashi, Psychonia. I know Fata Morgana, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. That's one I'm interested in. There might be a few others. There's what are the VNs I want to read? Do what I can on the Steam sale. Do what I can during the VN sale. And then knock them out when I can. So like I said, not 100 on what the next reading project will be. But in probably a week or so, I'll have a better idea of it. And I do want to go ahead and say that yes, I finished Sea Cats. I made a video on it. I haven't done a video on House yet. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow. If not, hopefully pretty early next week is when I would like to. But the Sea Cats video right now has about 70 views or so. And one of them is technically me trying to put in all the timestamps. So that one doesn't really count. But it's gotten 70 views. And I know it probably doesn't sound like a whole lot. There's so many channels that will get hundreds of views, thousands of views, millions of views. For me, that's fucking numbers. That is something that has exploded. So for anyone who did watch it, and I assume it is probably, people watching the video multiple times. It is 4 hours. I don't expect you to watch the whole thing in one sitting. To anyone who did, you're a fucking trooper. To anyone who didn't, I 1000% understand. I couldn't record it all in one sitting. But for everyone who has watched it, thank you. I mean, especially if you've seen any of my videos, thank you. I do appreciate it. But just seeing one that looks like it's done pretty well, I'm like, thank you. This just makes me feel happy. This makes me feel good. I'm already feeling better after talking about the tax shit. This is why I wanted to just keep trying to make a video, man. So kind of moving on to the next thing is about movies. So just some of the movies I watched this month. I think it was in June that I watched half the Mission Impossible movies. It might have been the end of May. Because I'd already seen 1, I'd already seen 3, I'd just been told to skip 2, so I did. I didn't really want to make time for it, but I watched 4, 5, and 6. I never made videos on them. I don't plan on it. I will when I watch 7. A quick little pin in that. But other movies I watched, Across the Spider-Verse, I blinked for a second, but Spider-Verse, Elemental, Asteroid City are the ones I watched in theaters, and a couple days ago... Oh, sorry, bub. I think I accidentally bopped you there. I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I do want to make a video on. It's one of the ones I want to record today. Short version, spoilers, I fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I do want to talk about it. But, sorry, brain stopped for a second. Hey, bub, do you want to come say hi to the people? Do you want me to lift you up? Probably not. I'll leave you there for a bit. Those are the movies I watched this month. Looking forward to next month. The first one's Ruby Gillman. That comes out in June because it does come out tomorrow. But since it's a DreamWorks movie and I watched all the DreamWorks movies with Clay, I'm not going to watch it unless I'm watching it with him. So, yeah, it's going to be slightly delayed. Probably first thing July because that would be Saturday. Hopefully Monday, which I think is the 3rd. Yeah, because Tuesday's the 4th. So I think on July 3rd, I'll probably try to watch it. But sometime next week, Mission Impossible 7, I'm going to go watch with some of the guys. And then Oppie and Barbie, which I do want to do as a double feature. I'm not 100% sure that I will, because that's like 5 hours. And that's going to be rough. Excuse me. But if I can, I really want to. I specifically want to wear a suit. At least to Barbie. Like, that's just, like, I know people did that, like, with Minions, and they thought it was really funny. And I think that's pretty funny. Barbie, to me, is like, that's the kind of movie I meme and wear a suit to. That sounds fucking great. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all the shit I wanted to say for movies. When it comes to games, so I finished Tales of the Abyss. I did release my video on that this morning, and I've started Lunar 2, and yesterday I played through the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I wasn't sure, like, is this a game project? Is this a reading project? And then by the time I was done with it, I was like, no, it's a little more of a game. I don't really plan on making a video on it, so I'll just say my thoughts here. I think it's a fun idea. I think it's a really cute idea. I had a lot of fun with just the VN sections. The, like, running sections, I didn't really care for. I didn't find them that fun. I'm sure there's probably plenty of people who did, but for me, it's like, it's like Danganronpa, where I'm like, the VN parts are really good. The gameplay it's interesting. I don't love it, but it's interesting. That's kind of how this felt, for better or for worse. I will say, when it comes to the mystery, I will not say if I was right or wrong or spoil who the culprit is, but I will say who I was confident the culprit was. From pretty early on, and then as it kept going, I was like, okay, I think it's the conductor, and I think it's the train itself. I think the two of them are working together, because there's some really, like, there's kind of a little thing here and a little thing there, and then, like, some other shit that happens later. I'm like, oh, okay, this is who I think it is. And again, I won't say if I was right or wrong, in case you want to play it. I'm not going to spoil that here. But I think it was like 2 hours, I believe it was free. It's worth checking out if you're interested. Yeah, and then so like I said, I am playing Lunar 2, so looking forward to July. That's what the main game project is going to be. After that, I plan on playing Scarlet Nexus. After that, I want to play The Witcher 3. That's been the list for a while. I don't expect that to change, but if that Kuro 2 patch gets like finished, then doesn't really matter what the fuck I'm playing. I'm kind of dropping it to play Kuro. And I don't know when the Pokemon DLC is coming. It's fall and winter, but who knows what the fuck that really means. Like, is that September? Is that August? Or it's not really August. Like, is that September, October? But that's kind of the same shit. Like, when that's available, I'm mostly dropping everything. I'm kind of dropping things down to Shiny Hunt. I do want to say, I was able to do some more wheeling and dealing. I got myself a Shiny Iron bundle. I'd been hunting bundle for a while, so I'm glad I finally got one. And I got a Shiny Yveltal, which is really cool. I love how it looks. And I also just found a Shiny Starly. Like, I'll take it. It's not one of my favorites. Like, it's a Pokemon I like, don't love. It's a shiny color that I think looks fine, but I'd rather have it than not, so I'll take it. So fun fact, a couple nights ago, I don't know what caused this to happen, but for something in my brain just kind of said, hey, you know what you haven't done in a long time? No, what haven't I done in a long time? You haven't listened to Kendrick Lamar's album To Pimp a Butterfly. Because I had first listened to it, I don't remember, I think it was in 2016, and I don't remember if this album came out in 2015 or 2016, but I listened to it in 2016. I was hanging out with a group of friends, and we were watching a Monday Night Football game between, don't ask how I remember this, but I do, between the Rams and the 49ers. I don't know if it was like a week 1 game. If not, it was super early in the season. This was the Chip Kelly, Colin Kaepernick season. So that's how again, don't ask how I remember those specific details. I just kind of do. I think God, how do I remember this? Kenny Britt, I think, was playing on the Rams. That I remember because one of the guys I was hanging out with had him on his fantasy team and was like talking about how he really wanted him to do well for his fantasy team. But anyways, I remember listening to the album and was like, wait, this is really good. I'm fucking with this. I like this. And I never listened to it again. So a couple days ago, I just decided to listen to it. I'm like, wait, yeah, this is still fantastic. Then the next day, I listened to GKMC. It was like, this is also really good. And then I re-listened to most of To Pimp a Butterfly. And then yesterday, I listened to Ready to Die, which is the debut album of the Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, which is also fantastic. I loved it. I had Big Papa stuck in my head all fucking day. So I don't know if this is just like, I'm just going to be listening to a lot of rap albums, or if this was just kind of a really short thing I got really into and then I don't anymore. I'm not sure, but I really liked all 3 albums. I had a lot of fun with it, so I just thought I'd share that. Then we just get into creative projects like June in Review. I finished the draft of the thing I've been working on. I think it's... The easiest way I can really explain it is this. I kind of wanted to, it's... Let me try that again. In my head, it's one massive fucking book. It is like a tome. Like, this is like a 2 to 3 book series as one book. Because I've never done that. I've never just written like a super book. And I was like, that sounds really fun. I kind of want to do that. I'm at a point in the draft where I feel like I can stop it. It's 450 pages, like exactly. Which is kind of a fun number that ended like it's such a round number, but like it's 450 pages. In terms of page count, to me, that's a good stopping point. In terms of shit that has happened, I feel like we're probably at a good stopping point. There's definitely a lot of content for the next book. Maybe next 2 books, but probably not. I think maybe there's a part where I can end it and then have like a part 3, but I feel like it's probably going to be a part 2. But part of me looks at it and goes, this is a good stopping point. We've done a lot of shit. It's a good length. We'll just edit it. And then there's another part of me that goes, am I sure? I mean, maybe I could add more. But the thing is, it's not just like if I add more, I'll be like, well, I can add another chapter or two. It's like, no, if I add more, it's going to be this whole story arc. But if I'm adding this whole story arc for this character, I should probably do the thing for the next character because it's multiple perspectives. So I need this arc. And then there's a whole nother chunk that I just kind of said, maybe it should be here because it's this third story that is still important. But I can probably save that for the sequel. But if I'm adding this one and this one, then I'm gonna have to add this one just because it's taking place at around the same time, although a different location. I'm like, I don't think so. But I've sent the rough draft out to like a few friends of mine that read my work, and I do kind of want to see what their perspective on it is, while also going through it myself and just going, okay, what works, what doesn't, what are some logic errors, what are some ways I can, try to make the actual flow of the prose better. I'm on about page 9, I think I'm on 92 right now. So I'm about a fifth of the way done, so hopefully by the end of July, I will be done with my edits, hopefully sooner than the end of July. After that, so one of the reasons I've been reading a lot of VNs this year is it's something I've been thinking about doing myself. I remember someone reading some of my work last year, and one of their big criticisms of it was a lot, like sometimes there's just pages of dialogue and not a lot of people like actually like doing stuff. And I think they had said like, if you're writing a book, write a book, don't write a script, which fair criticism. I really like writing dialogue. But I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I should write it as a script. Like maybe a VN isn't a bad idea. So I wanted to read some VNs. And then when it came to Sea Cats, yeah, I did cheat. I read the first half as a VN. And then the second half, I was like, fuck it. I just want to get through the story faster because it's so good. Let me read the manga. But there were still some I read earlier this year. There's still some I want to read later this year. So I want to be like, what makes a good VN? Like, what are the things you need in a VN? What are the things that you don't need but are nice to have if you can afford it? What are some things that VNs do that I maybe don't care for, that I could maybe avoid, etc., etc. The project I want to do is not the thing I just finished writing. It's something I wrote like 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. It's a story about religious extremism, because I remember the thing that inspired it was the Westboro Baptist Church, and my just disgust at the shit they would say. The fact that they would go to funerals and protest a funeral because, like, what were the signs? Like, God hates fags, I think was what they would say in their signs. Like, yeah, because we allow homosexuality in our country, God is damning us and killing, like, he is killing our soldiers, he is killing our people. So we are protesting your funeral because this is a country that allows this shit. And I just felt so disgusted anytime I heard about that I wrote a book about it. And I'm interested in turning it into a VN. Because, like, maybe that would work. Like, maybe, like, good music and sprites and shit could really kind of help tell the story. We'll see. It's not something we're going to start work on soon. Although I might kind of start resource gathering. Like, all right, let me try to find some music. Maybe try to get some characters designed. Maybe get some sprites done. Like, well, maybe we'll start a little early. That'd be one reason the tax returns would be great if they came in. It's like I could afford to commission shit. But thanks, California. That's most of what I wanted to talk about. There's a couple other things, so I'll start with one of them. How interested would you be in me streaming? Because it's something I've never done. It's something I have kind of a mild interest in. And if you're on Twitter, you might have had this same thing happen where you'll get DM'd by someone who'll be like, hey, do you stream super often? I can do commission work for you. Like, I can make like a banner for your channel. I can maybe make a VTuber model for you or something. I'm like, no thanks. It's not something I'm doing. Please don't try to sell me anything. If I want something, I'll contact you, you know. But it just got into something that got the gears turning a little bit. Like, is that something I should do? Is that something that would be fun? I don't know. But I am genuinely curious. Like, if you do, watch my channel, if you watch my videos, my reviews on shit, would you be interested in seeing me stream? And if so, what would you be interested in seeing me stream? Like, are there specific games? Are there specific genres? Like, would you want to see me play through a VN? I guess, like I said, the ones that are kind of on my radar right now, Higurashi, Syconia, Clannad, because I do already own it, and I've been meaning to play it for a long time, and I love it, and if I stream Clannad, you're probably going to see me cry in real time. I would be shocked if I didn't. Oh god, the fucking daddy's arm scene, man. If that's interesting, let me know. I don't know if I would be able to do it, but it's something I'd probably talk to Clay about, because he's the person I trust with all the technical aspects. But if there's people who are interested in it, I might give it a shot and see what happens. The other thing I wanted to say is I wanted to talk about the name of my channel. So, the reason, I think I have a channel introduction video, which I haven't looked at in 2 years. No, I haven't been that long, a year plus. The idea was I wanted to do a podcast. And I was doing that for a while, I don't think it was it weekly, bi-weekly? I don't 100% remember. But I wanted to do a podcast. And I called it Hazy Cosmic Jive, specifically named after a line from the David Bowie song Starman, which I like the song, but it was mostly just what's a good name for a podcast? Oh fuck, I think that sounds really good, actually, and I stand by that. I think that's a really slick name for a podcast, but I clearly don't do that anymore. I don't think a car/room talk Thursday is really a podcast. It's not long enough for that. This one's about 22 minutes at the moment. Sometimes they go a little bit longer, sometimes they're a bit shorter. So it's not really what I do. What I try to do in my videos, for better or for worse, is I want to give the viewer an authentic look at me talking about something. That's why I don't do a lot of editing. And again, that's not me trying to say that, if you edit your videos, you're being inauthentic, because I think that's fucking stupid. But I want it to feel like you are having a conversation with me, or it's you're listening to my side of the conversation of whatever topic I'm on. If it's a car room talk thing, it's this is having a conversation with me about my week. And you might get a part where I start getting excited about, I don't know, Umineko, and me being really genuinely grateful that people watched my fucking video on it. You also will hear me just vent about California and how I'm really pissed at them right now. I'm gonna stop talking about that because it's making me more mad. Or again, in the middle of a Sea Cats video where I'm yeah, this story is really good. Now I'm remembering Kingdom Hearts and it's making me mad. Let me vent about Kingdom Hearts, which, by the way, please understand, I love Kingdom Hearts 1 and I love Kingdom Hearts 2. Two of my favorite games of all time. Whenever I have this, these rants or these venom where I use it as a punching bag, it comes from a place of love. Which, saying it like that, it's oh yeah, it's a punching bag, but what's the fucking line from Ren and Stimpy when he grabs the it's discipline that begets love! Oh man, but I think you get what I mean. I want it to feel this is just the authentic me experience, again, for better or for worse. And if I was doing podcasts, and I was actively editing them, I was reading from scripts, I don't feel like it was as accurate. It would still be, this is my take, but even I noticed, I'm not giving the same energy, the same spontaneity as if I just, took some notes down and checked them every once in a while, or just said, here's the camera, hit record, talk. And so I want to change the name of the channel, because this isn't Hazy Cosmic Jive anymore. It is just JJNW'S Ghost, which is JJNW, that's my initials, Joshua, Jabulani, Undudugo, Whitley, JJNW. The ghost part? So, this was Halloween 2016, 17? maybe even 15. I don't know, somewhere around there. I was hanging out with a group of friends. And I remember talking to my buddy Billy, who's the guy that got married that we did the Ava Circle with. We all gave him congratulations. I remember hanging out with him, and I was like, "Hey, Billy, do you know what I am for Christmas? Or for Christmas, fuck. Do you know what I am for Halloween? Oh, what are you? I'm JJNW'S ghost." And I remember him going, "JJNW'S ghost?" I remember the specific way, the inflection he used saying the word ghost. I was like, "Yeah, I'm JJNW'S ghost." JJNW'S ghost! He repeated it. I remember that too. And somehow that stuck. That just JJNW'S ghost. You will still have some of my friends from that group who, I still hang out with and see all the fucking time, will call me that. They all call me JJNW, but I will hear JJNW'S ghost. That is just my internet handle on almost anything. When I was playing Overwatch, JJNW'S ghost. On Discord, I'm pretty sure I'm JJNW'S ghost. On Twitter, that's what I am. So, the idea of that not being what I am on my YouTube channel, despite it being, I post it to Twitter pretty often, but even then, it's I will post something on YouTube, then post it on my Twitter, and there's different names. So, from a branding perspective, it makes more sense. But also, again, it's if it's not the podcast, it's just here's a video of JJNW and JJNW'S ghost just talking about shit. That should probably be the name of the channel. And I remember I had thought this a while ago, and I switched the name. And I remember I got a comment from Kronos just saying, "No, I want you to change it back." Which, I appreciate the feedback on that, Kronos, but I do feel that overall it makes more sense. I still love the name, and if I ever were to do a podcast, I would call it Hazy Cosmic Jive. If I ever do a podcast style video, I will call it that. But I think I got a little tongue-tied there. But I think for just what I normally do on my channel and the videos I make, JJNW'S ghost sounds a little better. I think that's it. I think that's it for this video. Like I said, I have a couple more that I need to make. I need to go deal with the California tax board again, and I really don't want to do that. But for now, I guess I'll see you.